Here's one. You can see how well he was doing, not really even knowing what year it is. Here's the first one.
Well, guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. No! Well, let me say this as clearly as I can.
People.
I'm staying in the race.
Screaming.
I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
Okay. All right. He's going to beat him again in 2020, you guys. It's like, Joe, this is the kind of stuff that Trump needs to use for campaign ads.
I think he does. Like, the team often puts montages together of all of Joe Biden's moments.
Freaking gold is what it is. It's gold. Use it. Every time that guy speaks, he screws up.
Every single time. Unless people think that we're cheap faking. I understand that shortly after that, he corrected himself. Okay, that's not the point. The point is, usually people know what year it is when they're talking about running
automatically. Right. I mean, it's the thing. They can't use the cheap fake stuff anymore. They can't. No. That lasted about 5 minutes. And then everybody was like, yeah, you can't. They're there. You can't.
Yeah.
We all know.
Mm-hmm. And then, even when he has a teleprompter, he struggles. Like here he is with I think he's trying to say prouder, but then he says something about pondering, and it sounds like this.
By the way, I couldn't ponder.
Oh my God.
I guess I shouldn't say it. By the way, I couldn't be prouder to have your support and the support of our great Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
That's another one of his crutches, by the way.
By the way. Yeah.
He uses by the way all the time. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That is a big crutch. You're right. You guys, can we just take a moment to talk about dogs for a second? Oh my gosh. Yes. Ella was so excited to see us when we got back from South Carolina. She was like her old self, you guys. It was such a treat. She wasn't limping or anything. And we are regular users of Rough Greens. This is the formula put together by the founder, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black. He is focused on the health of every single dog. And this stuff, this green powder that you sprinkle on top of dry kibble, it brings the kibble to life with everything that your dog needs to boost their energy, to give them a shiny coat, to make sure that they've got healthy joints, good breath, all of those things. This is the ticket. And you can try it for free. Your dog's going to love it because they just do. They just love the taste of it. It's like a dressing for their food. And you can try it for free. You can get a Jumpstart trial bag at Rough Chicks, RUFFchicks.com. You can also, I want to make sure that I remember to mention their phone number. They have a phone number for old school folks who like to just call up and order. It's 888-90-MY-DOG. 888-90-MY-DOG.
That's awesome.
Or, Rough Chicks, RUFFchicks.com. RoughChicks.com. All right. So then there was the George Stephanopoulos interview that everybody was like waiting with bated breath for. That was 22 minutes total. That's it. That's all George got. And they played it on, I think it was like 8:00 on Friday night. We have a couple of clips. The first one is George asking, will you commit to getting a cognitive test? And here's what Biden said to that.
Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Everything I do.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world. And that's not how it sounds like hyperbole. But we are the essential nation in the world. Madeleine Albright was right. And every single day, for example, today, before I come out here, I'm on the phone with the Prime Minister of, anyway, I shouldn't get into detail, but.
Oh my God. So I watched most of this. One thing that stood out to me is that he is constantly campaigning. That's all he does. He knows how to speak in politician-y, campaign-y speak. Mm-hmm. Like one of the things that stood out to me is he was like, and the next time we're going to figure out the tax system. We're going to get it right. And I was like, dude, you've had half a century to get it right.
Right?
You've had, you've been doing this for like 50 freaking years. If you haven't gotten it right by now, you're not going to get it right. Okay. Like in the private sector, you would have already gotten fired. So it's time for you to go. I hate it because so many people that are dumb, just in general, okay? Like take the dementia out of it. So many people who are stupid buy into that garbage. They buy into that speak. When people like him and Gavin Newsom and all those bullshitters bullshit.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, we're going to get it right this time. We're going to do it. We're going to get it right." It's like all you do is take money from taxpayers. That's all you do, and that's all you've done. And so dementia aside, because that's just a whole other horrible layer of this guy that I just can't even believe that he's running the country. I can't. He's not, but I mean, I can't believe that he's the figurehead for running the country. He just speaks and politicians speak, and I cannot believe that people buy into this crap. I can't.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who thought this redeemed his performance at the debate, and I'm like,
it was a disaster.
I thought it was awful. I thought it was just as bad, if not worse.
I agree, 100%. It was an absolute disaster. It was.
And I guess if people want to continue their denial about the state of his mind, I don't know how they continue to do that at this point. There was the point too where George was asking him, listen, there's a whole bunch of Democrats that want you to exit. They want you to get out gracefully. Like, what do you have to say to them? Joe Biden right now, at least as it appeared from the interview, doesn't believe that those people even exist in the numbers that they do. And he doesn't believe the current polling that's taking place. And George is trying to get him to see it. He is in a state of denial. Watch.
But they are worried about you and the country, and they don't think you can win. They want you to go with grace, and they will cheer you if you do. What do you say to them?
I say the vast majority are not where those folks are.
Oh my God.
I don't doubt there's some folks there. Have you ever seen a group at time when elected officials running for office aren't a little worried? Have you ever seen that? I've not. Same thing happened in 2020. Oh, Biden, I don't know, man. What's he going to do? He may bring me down. He may.
Mr. President, I've never seen a president at 36% approval get reelected.
Right.
Well, I don't believe that's my approval rate. That's not what our polls show.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected, and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
As long as he did the goodest job, you guys.
The goodest. He actually said goodest. He said that word. Oh my God. The guy can't run a blender, let alone the country.
I mean, he said, I don't know if I can run a blender.
You can run a blender. You can. I know you can.
Do I have a blender?
You can. If I came to your house and said, we need to have margaritas, you would find a way.
I would figure that out.
You would totally figure it out. You would. I know you because you're determined. And I know that you would want a margarita. Okay. I know you.
Fair.
But him, he can't. He can't do. And he said goodest, Mock. He said goodest.
I would not say that unless I'm talking about dogs, because when you talk about them,
you can say he's the goodest
boy.
He's the goodest one.
That's the only time it's okay. That's the only time.
What is even happening?
Remember how we were saying earlier how one of the like mannerisms or characteristics of his speech that he falls back on a lot is the I'm not joking, no, I'm being serious, no, I really mean it.
Don't joke.
Right. I think all of those little phrases were used in the span of like 30 seconds here. This is, I think, in Philadelphia.
Even when I was running for Senate, and each time I ran, quite frankly, not a joke, Philadelphia in particular got me across the line. No, I'm not joking. No, I mean it seriously. Organizationally, in terms of fundraising, the whole deal. But look, here's the deal. This election is going to be about block and tackling. Simple, basic politics. Simple. It's going to be a matter of how many signs we get out, how many doors we knock on, how many calls we make, and how many requests we answer.
He's pulling from when he was young. You know what I mean? I think he's remembering when he was young and he could actually remember things, and he's speaking in that manner. And like, I remember part of at least one of the speeches that he gave this weekend, he's like, we're the best country in the world. And like, he's all like, I'm optimistic. And he does that stuff, you know, where he's just I'm optimistic pants. dude, you have destroyed the country. We're a complete dumpster fire right now. Everything is on fire. Go away.
So there was also a point where he was on the White House lawn. I don't know what this event was. I have no idea, but he's under the impression, you guys, and I can assure you, having just driven back and forth to South Carolina, that he is wrong about this. He is under the delusion right now, I think because of him, that there is no more highway traffic.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, this is great.
You know, I used to think when I was a senator, there were always congestion on the highways. There's no congestion anymore.
What?
None. Regarding the highway, there's no congestion.
Dude, what the hell? I sat in traffic for 20 minutes yesterday on 35. What is wrong with you? And that was just coming back from church. Like what are you talking about? It's because he doesn't.
Why would he say that?
Well, because he doesn't live in the real world. None of these people do. None of these government people live in the real world. I mean, it's like he's never had to pay his own bills. He's never had to like do his own shopping. He's never had to do anything in the real world to understand what it's like for us, the minions. It's like
the peasants.
There's no traffic, you guys. There's no traffic. Yeah, because he flies in the sky to get where he needs to go.
Right.
We pay for that. Must be nice.
Well, and speaking of flying, he did speak to reporters on the tarmac, and they too were pressing him. Are you going to get out? What do you think about the Democrats who want you to get out? Are you going to debate Trump again? He answered all those questions right here.
Completely ruling that out.
Mr. President, how can you pursue a case if democracy is at risk that you are the best candidate to beat Donald Trump?
Because I've beaten him before, and I've gotten more done than any president has.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
But you've been wrong about everything so far. You were wrong about 2020. You were wrong about 2022. We were going to get wiped out. Remember the red wave? You were wrong about 2023. And you said all the tough races, we won them all but two. So, look, we'll see.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
I have.
Who have you spoken to?
At least 20.
What are they telling you? What are they telling you, sir?
They're telling me to stay in the race.
Do you value the thoughts of members of your own party when it comes to your decision to stay in the race?
Sure I do. That's why they've said, you guys saw the governors. Every one of them in that room. All those governors said, stay in the race.
All right, Haley.
Thank you.
Are you confident you can serve another 4 years?
I'm positive.
Do you value the thoughts of the officials in your party?
I hope he'll debate me. I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
If he's in, will you commit to debating him?
I'm committing now, absolutely. Whether he's in or not.
He's committing to another debate, you guys.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine 4 more years of this? I saw, I think it was Russell Brand had a video of him from 4 years ago, and he was pretty much on the decline then. I mean, we talked about it then.
Right.
He was bad, but just the stark difference between then and now.
It's bad.
Yeah. 3.5, 4 years between then and now. It is really bad. And then you think to yourself, if he got back into office, what it would be like between now and 4 years from now. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I mean, he won't make it, you guys. I don't even think he's going to be alive in 4 years. And I'm sorry, I have to say that out loud, but I truly don't believe that. I don't.
We just need him to hang on this year. Just hang on. You can do it, Joe. You can do it. Although I think he might have been thinking about ice cream or something when he was giving this little, whatever this event was, because now he's talking about licking the world.
All, God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done, you guys.
Yesterday, there was a guy on Twitter after this was said, right? There's a guy there's a world as an ice cream cone, and he's like, and I could not stop laughing. Like, this is why I love the internet.
Yes.
Because people will make stuff like that. And I just was laughing out loud in my office. I'm like, that is the greatest thing ever. It's like, if he could have just said, let's sniff and lick the world, it would have just made it complete. Because that's.
Oh my God.
What's happening? And then Democrats are like, that's normal. That's totally normal to lick the world, you guys. Let's lick the world.
It's fine. That's
It's
completely fine.
you guys are gonna go lick the world. Let's lick it.
Wanda just sent Venmo saying that interview on the tarmac must have been really early in the day. That was the most coherent I've heard him in ages. Yeah, I mean, he was like when he was saying the media's been wrong. You got 2020 wrong. He did
2022.
put like sentences together, but think about how our standards have lowered for him.
Right.
We're like, look at him put a whole sentence together. You guys.
He made a paragraph. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he could be president. Yay. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I know. My God.